3, 2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday the 12th of August, and it's Elephant Day. Don't mention the one in the room, all right? And a big happy birthday to George Soros, Tyson Fury, Cara Delevingne, and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
7.
With schools reopening and A-levels due on Thursday, there's increasing anxiety over the predicted grades. Late last night, Education Secretary Gavin Williamson said that pupils will be allowed to use their mock grades if they're unhappy with the predicted results. In Scotland, after a row about predicted grades being downgraded and more severely in poorer areas, Scottish Education Secretary John Swinney spoke in the Scottish Parliament.
I can confirm to Parliament today that all downgraded awards will be withdrawn. Using powers available to me in the Education Scotland Act 1996, I am today directing the SQA to reissue those awards based solely on teacher or lecturer judgment.
6.
Russia has become the first country to approve a COVID-19 vaccine. Vladimir Putin announced his daughter has already been given a dose of the vaccine, thanks Dad, which is to be known as Sputnik 5.
A vaccine against coronavirus has been registered for the first time in the world this morning. I know that it works quite effectively. It forms a stable immunity.
You'll be amazed to learn that Professor Peter Uppenshaw at Imperial College in London isn't quite sure it's passed through all the required phases as yet.
My understanding, from what I can discover, although there's nothing out in the scientific literature, is that so far this has been tested in 38 volunteers. So that means that it's for phase 1, phase 2, it's being tested for its ability to generate an antibody response and not for its ability to actually protect.
5.
After much speculation, Senator Kamala Harris was picked as vice president for Joe Biden's election bid. Former President Obama backed the decision, saying Joe nailed it and praising Kamala, calling her brilliant, dedicated and tough. She's the first woman of colour on a presidential ticket, and here she is grilling Bill Barr in the Senate.
Attorney General Barr, has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone?
I wouldn't.
Yes or no?
Could you repeat that question?
I will repeat it.
Yeah.
Has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone? Yes or no, please, sir?
The president or anybody else?
Seems you would remember something like that and be able to tell us.
Meanwhile, on Fox, Tucker Carlson had a meltdown when a guest attempted to correct his pronunciation of her name.
Her name is pronounced comma, like the punctuation mark, Kamala. Okay? Seriously, I've heard every sort of bastardization
so
of
what?
that. That's how it is, Kamala.
Okay.
Well,
But
I think it's out of respect for somebody who's going to be on the national ticket. Pronouncing her name right is actually not, it's kind of a
So
bare
I'm
minimum.
disrespecting her by mispronouncing her name unintentionally. So it begins. You're not allowed to criticize Kamala Harris or whatever
Kamala.
because
it's
Kamala Harris.
It's not whatever.
People, it's going to be a long 3 months.
4.
New Zealand's been the envy of the world in how well they handled their coronavirus response, and just last weekend they celebrated 100 days virus-free. Incoming travellers are required to quarantine, and strict controls on borders have all helped, but now they've reported new local cases in Auckland, triggering a 3-day lockdown until they find the source. Here's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern.
We have 4 cases, all in one household. More than one workplace, however, is involved. Contact tracing is underway, but currently we know that of those workplaces, it means that we are not talking about one distinct suburb in Auckland who may likely have been affected by those who have tested positive.
3.
In last night's Europa League quarter-finals, Wolves were knocked out by Sevilla, losing 1-0, while Shakhtar Donetsk beat Basel. Wolves manager Nuno Espirito Santo says it was an incredible season for Wolves.
It's a small squad. We must be very proud, and now we need to make good decisions, so we cannot make mistakes like we did before. We need more players that can help us. A word to our fans back in Wolverhampton. I think we miss them. Everything could be different with their presence. This is a moment that We should, but the pandemic didn't allow us to be together. But for sure, the future is bright for us.
After his appearance last week on Instagram donating plasma, Cranston was on with Jimmy Fallon, telling the story of how he and his wife had COVID-19.
It was early on in March, just around the same time that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson got it. My wife and I got it. And I thought, they came out with it right away. And I thought, that's great. There's no need for another celebrity to say, hey, I got it too. So I just kept it quiet. And we were very lucky. Very lucky. So many people are suffering desperately from this, but my wife and I had about a week of extreme exhaustion and some body aches, a little dry cough, and then it was gone.
Peter Kay's popped up with a new car share sketch, but before you get too excited, it's in a book. Yep, written down in words, so you just have to do the voices yourselves. It's part of a new charity book called 100 Stories to Say Thank You, which is intended as a thanks to NHS staff. Peter went viral yesterday after BBC weatherwoman Carol Kirkwood stumbled over doggers. Here's a bit from the famous dogging car share sketch.
You said you went dogging outdoors. What am I supposed to think?
In the park with my dog. Dogging with my dog, Misty.
So you go dog walking, you don't go dogging?
Well, it's the same thing.
They're not the same thing. How the hell is the same thing? They're a million miles apart. Well, you've been living on the moon.
Dog walkers are doggers. I've even got a car sticker that says dogging's for life, not just for Christmas. People are always beeping.
Bet they are. I'm bloody bet they are.
This has been the Smart 7. Be smart, wear a mask. We've got an Alexa skill now, so enable us and then just say, Alexa, play the Smart 7. We're back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast.